is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is awesome. He reigns from heaven with wisdom, power, and wisdom. Our God is an awesome God.
Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, love. Our God is an awesome God. Now when he rolled up his sleeves.
Patience there. Warm welcome to everybody. Good to have everybody here this morning. This morning our lesson is, at least our theme for the month is about being the light. And my specific theme or my specific topic under being that light is not neglecting to do good and to share what you have. So a command that comes out of Hebrews, it's a wrap-up of the writer of Hebrews, giving these instructions of things that we need to do, and one of them being, do not neglect, do not forget to do good and to share with others. Okay, try again. There we go. So, sharing with others can be very challenging. Not to say that it's an easy thing that we can just, give very easily. It's challenging for many of us to give. Okay, whatever. Sorry, things are popping up at me. For some of us, it's a sacrifice. Too heavy to bear. Sorry, that's supposed to be a double T, that T-double-O there. Too heavy to bear. So it's a sacrifice to give unto others. Really a challenge for many of us. However, for many of us, sharing comes with conditions and expectations of repayment. So we have this thinking that when I give to you, you're going to pay me back for that. We attach conditions. We have expectations, but the end goal of it is repayment of that giving that we're going to give. When there is any risk, of course, that we will not get back what was shared, we decline to share. Any risk. If you think you're not going to get it back, and in many cases, many situations, the chances are very high you're not going to get it back because that's why the person's asking for the need. We seem to turn it down. I don't have anything to give. It's a difficulty to give. And for some of us, understanding that sharing is required from us, having that understanding that it's really actually required from us, means we plan and we set aside money in order to share when the need arises. So it's not something that just happens. It's not something that just, we know it's required of us. We make a plan for that to enable that to happen, to share. And in order to be a light means we need to plan. We need to prepare. We need to set aside aid to give it up freely. Usually we find ourselves spending everything that we have that we're really not in a position to give because we didn't plan for it, we didn't set aside, but the commandment requires of us to share. Without any expectations, without the expectation of getting it back, it is something that is needed of us to share. We mustn't have any expectations, we mustn't attach any conditions to it, that we are going to get repayment or it's going to earn interest and you're going to repay with interest. Sharing with others is not always about money. Sharing also can be in the form of time and expertise. You see, for many of us, we have very busy lives. And to give up of your time, that's really difficult. And we neglect to make time for others. Because that's also a part of the sharing that needs to happen. Making time and giving up of your time. And again, we'll put up conditions that we must gain something from giving up of our time, because time is rare, time is, we don't have a lot of it. So if I'm going to give you of my time, I must get something out of this. Most of us, as I've said, time is precious and in short supply. There are so many demands placed on us to deliver and to action. Some examples of those things that take up of our time: our jobs. I'll be the first to admit, my job is very demanding. My job requires many hours, probably pushing 55 hours a week. I'm sure that's for many of us here too, who are working very long hours, very demanding, required of us, but that takes up a lot of time. And then coming home and still thinking about work, taking up more time, very demanding. Our families, those of us who have big families or small families, families need time. Kids need time, our wives need time, our husbands need time, our parents, our siblings, our uncles and aunts, our grandparents, all of those that are family in some form need some of our time to help out where it is, to lend a hand, to whatever it might be. Families demand time. Our household chores, there's a lot of things to be done at home. The cleaning, the cooking, the washing, the ironing, the making beds, homework that needs to be done, cleaning up around the yard, gardening for those of us who have gardens. All of these chores take time and need time to be done. Our communities, whatever we are doing within our communities, and those that are not particularly family but need help in our communities, maybe our neighbors, take time. Our schools need time of us as parents. It's not just sending your child off to school and think that's it. Parents also need to contribute, whether it's fundraising, whether it's attending sports events, whether it's attending parent meetings, whether it's attending the budget meeting. All of these things also take time and need to be provided. Our volunteer societies, those of us who are professional volunteers, supporting those agencies that are not-for-profit organizations, they take time and we need to provide time for them. And then of course the church. The church also needs our time. Not just the time that we're spending here in service this morning or the time that we spend in our Wednesday evening Bible class, but outside of those hours, the church also needs of our time. And in order to be a light means we need to plan, we need to prepare, we need to make time for others without expectations or repayment or reward. So we give of our time because we love others and we want to do this for others, not because I'm going to get something out of this. Some New Testament verses that I want to bring in, as to other commandments or other requirements, where Paul talks about, Luke speaks about it in Luke chapter 6 verse 35. But love your enemies and do good and lend, give money, expecting nothing in return. The world will say that's not really lending. Lending is, there's a price to it, there's an interest rate to it, and there's an end date by which that payment must be delivered. But here God says you lend, expecting nothing in return. And your reward will be great. It's not a reward that we get here on earth, but your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for He is kind to the ungrateful and the evil. In Acts chapter 10:38, again Luke saying, how God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and with power. He went about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil, for God was with him. So we have an example in Jesus doing good to all those who are around him. Hebrews 13:16, as we've just read, do not neglect to do good. Neglect, a really important word there. Forget to do. It is a requirement of us. It's not just a nice to have or a by the way, or if you think it suits you. We need to do it. Do good, to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God. In 1 Peter 2:20 it says, for what credit is it when you sin and you are beaten for it? Meaning, you've been caught out doing something bad and you're now being punished for it. What credit is that to you? For you to endure it. But if, when you do good and suffer for it, you endure, then it is to your credit. Suffer doing good. This is a good thing that the Lord wants, for this is a gracious thing in the sight of God. Again in Galatians 6:9, and let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Do not grow weary. Do not get tired of it. Be a continuous exercise that we do in doing good. Sister Lindsay brought up this one, Galatians 6:10. So then, as we have opportunity, and the many opportunities that certainly do arise, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who are of the household of faith, to those who are in the church. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 15, see that no one repays anyone evil for evil. So usually we want to execute judgment, get revenge, rather than helping somebody out. Or, if somebody has hurt us, why would we go out of our way to do good for that somebody? That just doesn't make sense. But here, Paul writes to the Thessalonians saying, see that no one repays anyone evil for evil, but instead always seek to do good. Always seek to do good. Do better than that. To one another and to everyone. And to everyone. And again, Paul writing to Timothy in 1 Timothy 6:18, they are to do good, to be rich in good works, to be generous and ready to share. Again, that is a challenge. We need to be ready. We need to be prepared. It's not just something that we think about on the spur of the moment. We must be prepared to have this desire to want to give, to do good, whether it's of money, of time, whatever that might be, to lend in and give a helping hand. In 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 15, for this is the will of God, that by doing good you should put to silence. Now I quite like that verse about foolish people that Peter brings up. And I wanted to look at some Old Testament verses as to references about where God talks about doing good and not so clever people. So we'll see that next. So remember this, do good. By doing good, you shall put to silence the ignorance of foolish people. So turning to the Old Testament, that even in the Old Testament, this was a commandment of God. It's not something new. It's not a tralala moment that we read about in the New Testament that it's a new thing. God required it of the Israelites even in the Old Testament. And we read Psalm 34 verse 14, turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. And again in Psalm 37:3, trust in the Lord and do good. Put your faith in the Lord. Be encouraged by the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Ecclesiastes, now this is the wisest man that lived who wrote this book. And he did amazing things, maybe not so much in his all his marriages that he had, but there was method, I suppose, in the madness. But he recognized out of his wisdom, and he said, I perceive that there is nothing better for them than to be joyful and to do good. The wisest man writing, of all the amazing things that I've achieved, of all the amazing things I've done, and you read about all of the accomplishments that he made, he writes about it in the book of Ecclesiastes. Man, I worked in vain. Man, I achieved all these great things and only for somebody else to benefit from it. But he perceived that there really is nothing better for us to do. Be joyful, be grateful, and to do good as long as we live. As long as we still have breath in our lungs, pursue to do good. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 17, Isaiah talking to the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom at the time, but particularly the southern kingdom. Learn to do good. Seek justice. Correct oppression. Bring justice to the fatherless. Plead the widow's case. So here Isaiah was talking to a nation that were really forgetting who God was and what God required of them. They forgot to do good things and were pursuing, do those things that I would get self-gain, self-interest, rather than the interest of others around me. There was no justice. They weren't correcting oppression. The wicked were just getting away with things. They weren't bringing justice to the fatherless. Those are the orphans who weren't being presented, and the widow's cause, those who didn't have husbands. And again here in Jeremiah chapter 4, so many years later, Jeremiah coming, the northern kingdom has fallen away, and it's just the southern kingdom left. Really a dismal state of affairs in the southern kingdom. And Jeremiah speaks and says, "For my people are foolish. They know me not. They are stupid children. They have no understanding. They are wise in doing evil. But how to do good they know not." They have forgotten what it is to do good. And so God declares them stupid people, foolish people, for thinking that this wicked way is the right way. In order to be the light, we need to overcome any anxiety we may have to share without expecting anything in return. Many of us are anxious to give of ourselves, give of our money, give of our time, because we have an expectation of getting something in return. To be this light means we need to prepare. We need to plan with purpose, with understanding, with love, with ferventness, to give and to give it freely, without hesitation, without conditions attached. By being the light, we become a blessing unto others. But more importantly for you, you demonstrate your faith in the Lord. You're putting your faith in the Lord. That, Lord, I'll be fine. And that I've set aside whatever I can to give unto others. The light is a beacon of faith, a beacon of hope, a beacon of love for the Lord, for what He has done for us, and our desire to share that with all of us around us, with all those around us. So we want to be that beacon, but we may need to be sharing in that light that we have. And to do good unto others does not come naturally in the world. That's not a natural thing to be done. It's not something we wake up and we just think, I'm here to help one another. Due to the expectation that we should get something in return. That's how the world works. The world requires that when you do work, you get remunerated for that. And we think of all those things. When I give something, I must get something. When I buy something, I must pay for it. When I deliver something, I must be compensated for that. And for the big business people, they try and see what maximum profit I can get out of this service or out of this product that I produce or manufacture. This is how the world has taught us. So it's not a natural thing to just give, to just do good works without the expectation that we get something in return. To do good should, however, be a habit, a desire, a natural reaction for us, for those in the church first, naturally, but also for those outside the church. We shouldn't be discriminating. We shouldn't be keeping away those good works. And I ask that it comes as a habit. It must come as if you're waking up and breathing. Something we don't have to think about, something we don't have to worry about. Tying a shoelace maybe. It's a natural thing, easy to do. You bend down, you tie a shoelace very easily. It is a habit. And we need to have this habit within us, this desire that it's a natural thing for us to do good and to share with others. A habit does not just happen. It comes from practice. My daughter is doing a lot of athletics at the moment, and there's a set time that she's got to accomplish, and man, Dad, I'm never going to get that time. And the response from me is always, you need to practice more. You need to attend all the practices that the coach requires of you. You've got to put in the hours, you've got to eat the good food, but the practice, continue practice. So here too for us, for it to become a habit, a natural thing that we don't have to think about, we need to practice. It needs to be repetitive. It needs to be exercised like we do in training. It always starts small. Try not to push yourself to something or overexert yourself, because then we get hurt. Then we get frustrated. Then we get, it delays us in recovering because of that injury. So it starts small. With incremental steps, we build up to bigger and more challenging things. More challenging in giving of our time and of our money. To exercise is to get into a routine, such as an athlete would, preparing for the race to come. Paul mentioned this race, and he said in 1 Corinthians chapter 9:25, every athlete exercises self-control in all things. Self-control, what he eats, the program that he puts himself in, the preparation that he puts himself in. He exercises self-control. He wouldn't take in things that's going to hamper his progress. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, a perishable prize. And that's what the world teaches us. If you're going to run this hard race, do it because you're going to get something for it. But Paul teaches something differently, and he says, but we do it for an imperishable prize. That prize that is in heaven for us, waiting one day. So I do not run aimlessly. Know this, that you are not giving aimlessly. I do not box as one beating the air. We have purpose. Something is to be gained from it, not now in this life, but in heaven for us one day. But I discipline my body and I keep it under control, lest after preaching to others, I myself may be disqualified. We need to be self-controlled. We need to practice. We need to prepare. We need a repetitive exercise to go through this. Hebrews 13:14-16 reads, for we have no lasting city, but we seek the city that is to come. This world that we're in is not going to last. So why seek after things that we need repayment if it's not going to last? What we are waiting for is that city that is yet to come. Through him, then let us continually offer up a sacrifice of praise to God. And this giving is part of that sacrifice of giving. A praise to God. That is the fruit of lips that acknowledge his name. And do not neglect to do good and to share what you have. For such sacrifices are pleasing to God. Thus doing good does come with a reward. A heavenly reward seen by God. It is something that pleases the Lord and builds towards that prize that awaits us for eternity. It will last forever. So why are we worried about the little reward that we want to get back that's not going to last? But let us not for reward desire to do good. We do this because we love to do it. We do this because this is wanting of us, and not because of that reward. Because we want to share instead, as it is a natural habit and a routine for us to do so. In conclusion, we as followers of Christ our Lord imitate what He taught and what He practiced. That despite the persecution and the rejection, for you will be persecuted and you will be rejected. People will take you for granted. He did good and He gave to everyone. He did good. Despite that punishment, despite that persecution, He continued to do good. That is our example. Christ had no distinction between good, between saved or unsaved. No distinction. But desired that all may come to know and love the Lord their God. And hopefully through our action of giving, others will come to know our love for the Lord, our God. To do this, He shared freely, He gave freely, and He sacrificed of Himself for you and for me. Hence the command to do the same, to do good by whatever means we have available, to shun revenge or reward, but desiring instead things from above. Let us be inspired that through our generosity and good works, we will be a light to all around us. That is our focus, to be that light and to share. Sure, the world will take advantage. They will take advantage of your generosity. They will exploit your good works, because why should I work hard if you're just going to give it to me? Why should I go and, be good to others if you're going to just give it to me? They are going to exploit you, sure of it. But despite this, we are going to give. We are going to show love. We are going to support and contribute to those who ask for need. Remembering always where our measure of reward is and where theirs will be. Remember always where our measure of reward will be, as opposed to their measure of reward. They are going to receive something that is going to come to an end. It doesn't last forever. But think of the reward that we're getting instead. Be prepared, and what I mean by be prepared, don't get caught out. Set aside. Be in a position that you can give. Say to the Lord, this is the portion that I need, and this is the portion that I'm going to help contribute to help support those who are in need. We set aside a portion of what we have with the intent to share without repayment. Be in a position prepared. And be joyful and happy when sharing. Don't do it grudgingly. By sharing and doing good to others without being reluctant, nor feeling under compulsion to do so, but instead desiring to do so. So we be joyful, be happy to give. If you're not happy in giving, the whole point is lost. The whole point is forgotten. We need to be joyful. We need to be happy. Do it so without reluctance, without compulsion. And finally, to do this, it takes planning. It takes preparation. It takes exercise and practice in order to achieve. Brethren, that concludes my lesson today. If there's anyone in need of prayer, let it be known as we
beyond the azure blue, a God concept from human side. It is this sky when heavenly new, and from the world with His great mind. There is a God, He is alive, in Him we live, and we survive from dust of God, created man. He is our God, the great I am. There was a long, long time ago, a God whose voice and prophesied. He is a God that we should know, who speaks from his inspired word. There is a God, he is alive, in him we live and we survive. From dust of God, created man, he is our God, the great I am. Our God who sat upon a tree, a life was willing there to give, that he from sin might set men free, and evermore